We hear a lot these days about testosterone therapy. Let me share with you my own experience and the years of research I've done on it. Testosterone therapy, part 3. The history of TRT in medicine has been severely flawed, resulting in the unnecessary castration of men, as well as decades of discouragement, debilitation, and disempowerment for both men and women. This is yet another brilliant example of our willingness to test and question the status quo, flipping outdated, incorrect, and long-standing stagnant beliefs on its head. Science must always continue to question what we perceive as cemented beliefs, because true science, at its very heartbeat, is constantly fluid and evolving, as well as open to new ideas, perspectives, and avenues of communication. It is far too easy for science to become tainted and constricted by the subjective opinions, myths, and misconceptions of the times. Testosterone replacement therapy for women is currently completely misunderstood, causing entirely unnecessary and immense suffering for women who have been misinformed and discouraged from receiving its holistic healing benefits. This places women at greater risk of developing debilitating menopausal symptoms and breast carcinoma. Women greatly benefit from TRT in the same ways as men, including intimately. Women have 20 times more testosterone than estrogen, making it the dominant hormone in women. In fact, women's bodies create all of their estrogen from testosterone. Women benefit immensely from pellet TRT on a physical, arousal, hormonal, mental, and emotional level. What is the correct ratio of testosterone to estrogen for men? Should a male patient take anastrozole or an estrogen blocker during TRT? There are two ends of the spectrum on the question of using anastrozole or other estrogen blockers during TRT. First, it must be understood when it comes to the critical role hormonal balance plays in our lives. All hormones fulfill key sacred missions and mandates towards maintaining perfect balance and health. We cannot subscribe to a rigid or reductionist viewpoint in which testosterone is viewed as good and estrogen as bad for men. Most people are unaware that estrogen plays a crucial role in libido, arousal, erections, and even bone health for men. Dr. Morgentaler, the progenitor of modern TRT, only prescribes an estrogen blocker if symptoms such as male breast growth in men arises, despite elevated estrogen levels measured in estradiol through a blood test. Other urologists and clinicians prescribe anastrozole automatically with the TRT protocol once blood tests show elevated estradiol. When targeting testosterone replacement therapy at levels of the upper quartile of optimal levels, or between 800 to 1100 nanograms per deciliter, estradiol levels can go beyond the recommended levels of 15 to 39.8 picograms per milliliter. Studies have shown a correlation of increased heart risk with estradiol levels exceeding this range, with the ideal Goldilocks range stationed between 20 to 30 picograms per milliliter. Now, do not let that scare you. Some of the foremost experts in TRT naturally allow estrogen to increase with rising testosterone levels. The majority of urologists and clinicians do prescribe anastrozole with TRT. It is my opinion that it is best to follow the studies in this case and take anastrozole to keep your estradiol levels in the ideal range of 20 to 30 picograms per milliliter for men. This really is a decision which varies by practitioner, and a decision you always have the final say in, because ultimately, it is your sacred body vessel you are in charge of. Should patients take HCG during TRT? I am once again shocked at how many experts and urologists do not seem to even know about, discuss, or prescribe HCG during TRT. HCG, or human chorionic gonadotropin, is naturally produced in women's placentas and mimics luteinizing hormone, or LH, in men. It is LH in men, which stimulates the Leydig cells of the testes to produce testosterone. HCG should always be part of the TRT protocol because it helps maintain fertility, libido, and cognitive function while further increasing testosterone levels. In an opinion by Dr. Robert Stevens entitled "The Benefits of Using HCG with TRT," published in the Men's Health Clinic in 2021, Dr. Stevens states, "The premise behind TRT should be hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, and maintaining normal physiological processes. Testosterone monotherapy is a rather short-sighted and dogmatic approach to treating testosterone deficiency, or TD, when we know other hormones are suppressed through treatment. HCG is used to maximize natural intratesticular production of testosterone through stimulation of the Leydig cells. It also allows other physiological mechanisms within the testes to continue. In my professional opinion, HCG should always form part of your testosterone replacement therapy, or TRT protocol." End quote. Should patients donate blood during TRT? Absolutely yes, whether you are receiving TRT or not. If you are receiving TRT, regularly donating blood will address any increases in red blood cell count, which occurs naturally with an increase in testosterone. Some people postulate that TRT places us at increased risk of cardiovascular disease due to increased red blood cell count. But there is not a single study showing this correlation, and certainly not within the normal optimal range of TRT. On the contrary, a 2017 study by Carolyn Webb entitled "The Role of Testosterone in the Treatment of Cardiovascular Disease" shows it is low testosterone, which is linked with increased risk of cardiovascular disease, arteriosclerosis, and heart failure in approximately 1/3 of men independent of age. The latest science shows that donating blood even once per year decreases the chance of a heart attack by 88%. Regularly donating blood is incredibly regenerative. Our body creates brand new red and white blood cells, platelets, and plasma every time we donate blood. In the course of 1 year of regular blood donations, we renew all our blood. The latest science shows that this changes the cellular messaging to one of youthfulness. When you donate blood regularly, it is important to monitor iron stores and regularly supplement with iron. Recent studies show that supplementing with iron decreases the amount of time needed to restore iron levels after blood donations. Your naturopathic doctor or clinic can simply restore iron levels to ideal levels with an iron mineral IV if a blood test ever shows iron levels dipping too low. Keep an eye out for part 4. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to catch the next video.